What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. In Kinganda, we are doing the pro-black version. That's right, I'm giving some variety to the channel, and today we're talking about black YouTuber Afrikan Superstar. Now, many of you guys in the, in the Pan-African sector, the pro-black sector, you know of the Afrikan Superstar channel. She is a dual citizen of the United States and Britain, currently living in Britain, raised in the United States. And the Afrikan Superstar is very passionate about Africa. Hard body. She really loves everything to do with Africa, in particular Ghana, and her platform is climbing up there. She's collaborated with a lot of people, me, African Tigers, a whole bunch of other people in person, also Wodi Maya. And she has a really good video that she did earlier last week called Note to Africa, Some of the Diaspora Are Searching. But in that video, she drops a gem as to why a lot of African Americans don't come to Africa, right? And people always wonder why African Americans travel to France, London, they travel to Spain, Dominican Republic, Cuba, if they can get there. But why not go to Africa? And a lot of blame is on African Americans for that. It's because, we hate Africa, or, we're just not trying to be in tune with the motherland, or it's too far, it's too expensive. But we don't think about that there's another factor that is keeping black people from going back to Africa. And that is the interactions with our African brothers and sisters themselves. Now, I know what you're going to think. You're thinking like, oh, here we go again with another African American versus African video. Africans and African Americans hate each other. No, I'm not talking about any beef, okay? Because usually Africans and African Americans, especially the men, I don't know about the women, but African American men and African men, we don't really have a lot of problems. Black men are pretty much the same. We both like the same things. The African American guys like African women, or African women like African American men. And so a lot of our conversations are cordial. People just play into the beefs, right? A lot of us have African friends. And what happens is once we start having African friends, we work with them, and a lot of Africans, African Americans, we, in the black community, we have been preached to that Africa is our homeland, right? And so many of us have always yearned to want to go to Africa. If you talk about, you ask African Americans a lot of times where they want to visit, I can guarantee one of the top 2 or 3 things they're going to say is Africa. And so once we finally get a chance to talk to somebody who's from Africa, we have a lot of questions. And some of them questions might be stupid. Yo, bro, are there lions in front of your house? And
you stupid.
Do you be shooting deer and stuff? Stupid questions like that, right? And then obviously we find out from the African brothers and sisters that no, we have cities just like you do. They have cars, they have gas stations and all that and stuff like that. And so then the next questions are probably going to be, if it's a brother, right? Well, what the girls look like, man? Are they all thick out there, brother? What's going on? That's what the brothers gonna say. And then we get past that, and then, well, man, what is it like, And what happens is a lot of times, especially in the Nigerian community, a lot of the Nigerian, especially that, I'm not picking on anybody, but Nigerians will, in my experience, I've heard them say this, talk about how they will never go back to Nigeria again, ever. It's trash. Oh, ain't no opportunities there, ain't no money there. I'm never going back. You should never want to go. I've heard Ugandans say this. Now, it's so funny, right? When you come to Uganda or Kenya and you tell people you're from America, people will look at you like, why are you coming here?
Bruh.
Like, we're trying to get to America. Like, are you crazy, right? And I know that you guys don't believe me. So I want you to hear what Afrikan Superstar had to say, and then we'll come on from there.
And quite frankly, I have to tell you guys as well, African migrants, number one on the totem pole when I speak about this. You guys have to do a better job of talking positively of your country. You know, I was recently in a setting where there were some Nigerians and some Ghanaians, and you know, some people have already a habit of talking so negatively about their country. You have to realize that people are observing you. And if that's how you speak about your own country, that may not necessarily be enticing to a person to want to go and visit your nation. You know, if you're constantly dogging it and you're talking about this, you're talking about corruption, you're talking about poverty and infrastructure, whatever, you're just kind of compounding on some of the information that members of the diaspora have. Basically, guys, this transition is there's responsibility on both sides. You know, I speak, that does not negate the role of the continental African or the African migrant. No, you guys also have to do your share to create this transition. You know, that means when you see a member of the diaspora that's eager to learn about your culture, has questions, you know, wants to learn the language, you foster that, you cultivate that. Because nobody likes to be rejected, right? Nobody likes to be rejected. So blacks that are coming and they you know, naturally, I'll tell you this, Pan-African blacks that are in the diaspora, their normal set of thinking will say, because they're connected to the motherland, right? This is something that I thought when I was getting married, you know, years ago. I thought, okay, you know what? This person is going to be able to help me reconnect in a different way to the motherland. Okay. And then it's quite shocking when you find out, oh, wait a minute, this person is not interested in Africa at all. This person is not supportive of these views. This person doesn't even have any interest on the motherland themselves.
So you heard what she had to say, right? And I want to talk about this. Is important. A lot of the African brothers and sisters out here in these streets don't know that when you might actually be honest. I believe that, you know, a lot of African brothers and sisters are honest when they have a problem with their country. You know, they may have left for whatever reason and now they're doing good in America. But when you tell an African American something pejorative about your country, you are teaching us how to treat Africa. Okay. And for me, I had to go over so many negative conversations. I've talked to people from the Ivory Coast, Zimbabwe, you know, Zimbabweans, you know, those, you know, South Africa, you know, and when we hear about this and we see so many Africans coming to America, then it makes sense. Like, oh, okay, well, damn, Africa must really be messed up, so I might as well not go, and I might as well just stay here. And then, you know, you get into the back and forth and stuff like that, and you know, well, then why are they coming here? And you hear the brothers just talk about, you know, how good they doing over here, and they ain't never going back and all of that. Well, that's part of the problem, right? And then a lot of times African Americans get blamed for hating on Africa, but in the diaspora too. I mean, shout out to the, you know, the Jamaican, the Caribbean family, all of them. But then when people tell us all these bad things, what are we supposed to think? Because we're trusting you with the situation. And if you haven't been back to, you know, Africa, there's some people here. Shout out to some of the Ugandan brothers and sisters, because, you know, that is our home base here in Kampala, and Ugandan diaspora. Very, very important. I've been getting comments from people, you know, from, you know, Uganda, talking about, I've been living in Los Angeles, I've been living in London for 20 years, I haven't been home in 20 years. And I know why they haven't been home in 20 years, because, you know, although they miss, they just don't see a future for themselves. And for them, it's like, well, because you couldn't make it in there, then, you know, you don't think others can. And I can understand that, but don't get mad if, you know, people from the diaspora all of a sudden start having low confidence in Africa. They start having low confidence, you know, and all of that. You know, you teach people how to treat your countries, okay? And, you know, and even me as an African American, and I hate to say this, but I see a lot of African Americans on the continent that are actually promoting countries. You know, I hate to say it's going to be offensive, more than I see people that are from these places. You know, I spent a lot of time in Uganda trying to, build it up and the content for it. And a lot of people that are from Uganda have left, and they don't want to come back. And when you talk to them, Some have good things to say, and some are very, displeased. And I get it, right? I understand that, the governments have failed, corruption has failed, and you have to leave. But I want to challenge you that if Africa is to do something, we gotta talk about a lot of times about the positives. You don't want to ruin the experience for somebody, because what if that person can come back to Africa and do some amazing things? You could be robbing a soldier for the continent. That could be a builder. That person could be a uniter, and you just talk that person right out of what Africa needs. That person could be helping the continent rebound. So I think she has a really good point, family. And guys, I really appreciate all that you do. It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk, the African version. Guys, subscribe, hit the bell. I really appreciate you. Thank you for watching King Gonda and all of that. And as you know, keep it real. King Gonda forever. I'm out.